Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to What He Said with Kevin Walker. Of course, I am Kevin Walker. Got my main man since I was probably 9 or 10 years old. I'm not sure exactly. I know, but I know it's 40 plus years in the game together. This is my
Yeah.
man, Mr. Terry O'Neill. What's up, T?
What's up? What's up, y'all?
Uh, so we got us some solid ground tonight, everybody. We got some solid ground. Uh, Quite a few topics. We're gonna let the Trader Truth Zero shit marinate for one more week. It's still a lot going on with that, and I want to be able to touch it on so many different levels. I know Zero now is Sue and Trey and all of that, but we're gonna get to that. But we're just not gonna get to that tonight. Okay, we're gonna table that to next week when we can talk about the countersuits, the lies, and all that other shit. But tonight we got some heavy topics. We're talking about that unspeakable presence, the things that move you and motivate you that maybe don't work the same way for others. Like, and I'll get into that more as we get to it, but that unspeakable presence with me not having my mom, how is it gonna motivate me in other ways to maybe be a better man or a better husband if I'm ever married again. Things of that nature. The unspeakable presence. Um, we're gonna speak about when God intervenes. Like in your life, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a deacon, I don't pretend to be, I don't, but we do as men, me and Terry, both, we do believe in the word of God, and we do believe in God Himself. What's up, Donna Grace? You know, when you get to a certain age in life, there's just some things when you talk about making adjustments, there's some things in life that we just don't do no more.
Right.
So we're going to talk about making the adjustments. Like what changes? Like, for example, I'll give you Ludacris. Ludacris started out as a little backroom DJ. He elevated himself to a DJ in the Atlanta area that was um, worldwide. Then he elevated himself now to movies and to making books and doing his own shit. So making the adjustment. So what part of your life have you matured and start to look at life a different way? What adjustments have you personally made in your life to do things different? Our last topic, that if we have time, this is going to be the last thing we speak on tonight. Um, no morals or values. Is that type of lifestyle even possible? Like people who will say anything and do anything in the moment, how do you sustain a lifestyle living like that? How do you maintain friendships and relationships living like that? So we'll get to that. But what I want to start with tonight, what? Oh, she was here and she called again.
Don't. Yeah.
That Kmart ass internet she got. Um, so when God intervenes, so T, I'm gonna start this one off, bro, and then you more than welcome to jump in. If Elisa stays with us, she can jump in as well. But um, I'm gonna start the when God intervenes from this perspective. So last night I made a post, my first post on Facebook this morning, man. I was speaking about Landon and the success my baby boy had in his football game last night. Landon didn't play football last year at school. He didn't play football at all last year. We didn't even do Little League last year. For the first time in my kids' life, none of my kids were playing any sports at all. For the first time ever since I've been a father. Uh, so the when God intervenes, so my ex-wife took a job closer to her end of town. They live in Porter, Texas. She took a job on that end. So she didn't find it necessary or she didn't want to. It was going to be too much driving. Hey, Felicia. What's up, Tyon? Uh, she didn't want to be driving all the way into the city of Houston like she had in the past. Um, for several years, taking Landon to school in the Heights. Because last year he was at Black Middle School for his first year of sixth grade, for his only year of sixth grade. So she put him in a new school. Another Landon ain't happy with it. He don't like it. He complaining. He don't like the school. He don't want to be there. He want to go somewhere else. So he called me a few weeks back, Daddy, I'm gonna play football at school this year. Like, son, you sure? Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna play. I'm like, but you ain't done nothing to get better. You ain't done nothing all off season. You ain't ran track. You ain't lift no weights. You ain't done nothing to get better. Why you all of a sudden just go jump up and go? Well, Daddy, I've been playing my whole life, so it ain't like I know what to do. That many kids can't be that much better than me. Yada yada. So he gave me this whole spiel. So honestly, as a daddy, I'm gonna be real. I know my baby's small, but I know my baby is super smart and intelligent. So I honestly, personally, was wary about him last night. So when Kim and I pull up at the game, I said, Kim, that's Landon right there. Hey, Nina, how you doing? So when I pull up, me and Kim pull up at the game last night, I said, I promise that was Landon just tackled that boy and made him fumble. She was like, how you see that from the parking lot? I'm like, I know how my kids walk. And she was like, really? I was like, no, that was Landon. So we go in, we watch a few plays of them on offense. It's fourth down. They put Landon in the game on fourth down, house call, touchdown. And the announcer said, Landon Walker again avoids the entire defense for his second touchdown of the night. I'm like, second? So I missed my baby first touchdown of his middle school career. Go to halftime, 14-0. Landon got both touchdowns on the night. I'm going to tell you how God intervened. We go to the third quarter. Boom, Landon get another touchdown, his third touchdown of the night. Remind you, let me go back to the beginning. My baby don't want to be at this school. He don't like it. He's not happy. So I told Kim on the way home, I said, man, God is amazing. And she was like, oh, yeah, definitely. She was like, but what you mean? I said, Kim, Landon didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be at this school. He wanted to be somewhere else. But what's amazing about the grace and the presence of God is because God knows where Landon was struggling, he made him successful tonight on the football field so that his popularity amongst his peers and in that school picks up to make him feel welcome in the moment. It's not about football. I just felt like last night God did Landon a favor with those 3 touchdowns. Had nothing to do with football. It had something to do with this past summer, my baby going to a Christian camp and coming home and telling me and his mom that I want to make God the head of my life, that I am going to make Jesus Christ the head of my life, and I'm going to live to please him. So I'm like, wow. At 12 years old, my baby said he was making Jesus Christ the head of his life. And I asked him, I was like, Landon, do you know what that means? He was like, yeah, Daddy, like, I listen to a lot of people. This is what my 12-year-old son said to me. I listened to a lot of people over the past 3 weeks give us testimonies while we were at camp about how they was doing all the things wrong in their life. And the minute that they placed God at the forefront, everything in their life went right. Everything just turned around and their life went in a different direction. So I felt like for my baby saying that God blessed him last night with an opportunity to be great in the moment so that now when he returns to school the next day, he's got a whole new set of friends. He's a man all over again in the new school. And I'm not gonna lie, this morning on my way to work thinking about that just made me like very, very emotional because I knew how much my son didn't want to be in that situation, didn't want to be at that school. I think what God showed him is to trust him. But y'all can go ahead with y'all moment when God intervened in your life and did something special. I just want to share my last moment that I had with that type of situation. Hey, get your ass out here.
He go from talking about
That's
God.
the kind of car sales you can go.
He go from talking about God to cuss.
When God gonna end up
Hey, get your ass out! What the hey?
to cussing the kind of car sales out.
Yeah, he cussing out.
God, come on, intervene. Go ahead, Terry. I'll let y'all take the lead on this one. Tell us a moment when God intervened.
You know, I this is a subject that I'm truly familiar with, but I'm gonna go out and make an exception and speak on this topic.
Cookie looked like she was about to pee on my carpet. That's why I had to go from God to cussing.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't speak on this topic because religion is one of the largest debatable issues in the world. Um, we of course we know that there's people that don't believe in God. We know that there's people that don't believe in Jesus but believe in God, and so on and so forth. Um, I believe everybody has had some form of intervention with God, whether they know it or not. It's a lot of people don't know they've had that. You know, a lot of people will call it luck. Um, Me personally, being on this earth 55 years, I've learned that um, everything for a reason, no matter what it is. I'm a person that if something happens to me, I'll try to find why it happened to me. Um, I'll try to find out, is there a message? Give you an idea. A few years, 12 years back, um, I was in between jobs, and my partner called me and said, let's go fishing. I said, shit, let's go. We out. So at that time, my wife, she said, you don't need to go fish. You need to find your job. Yeah, whatever. I'm out. Long story short, I went out there. Before we could get the boat in the water, I slipped on some slime and broke my leg, broke my ankle. All three bones in my ankle. So I wasn't listening because the man had already told me something, tried to tell me something prior, and I wasn't listening. And when I realized it, it was too late. It broke my leg. What if I'd have listened to him prior to me going fishing, I wouldn't have broke my leg. Because he was trying to tell me that you need to sit your ass down and slow down. You're moving too fast. So when I wasn't listening to that, then he slowed me down himself. And I understood that. See, I'm a person that nothing drastic has to happen to me for me to make a change in my life. You know, a lot of people, you know, you in a motorcycle wreck, you in this, you and that, they're going to make them drastic changes in their life. But I was telling somebody that yesterday or the day before, everybody in this world knows exactly what they need to change about themselves, but they don't. Everybody, I don't care who you are, you know exactly whether you feel like you need to lose a pound or two, whether you need to stop smoking, whatever it is, you know what you need to change about you. Whether you living right, if you out there robbing people, you know that you need to stop. Whatever it is, everybody know what they need to change about themselves. Um, you know, I've had a lot of come to Jesus meetings with Jesus. But at the end of the day, if you are a person that is, because like me, I try to live right. I'm for right. I try to treat others fairly, and I that's how you grow. If you know, and I'm gonna use Cat Williams. The little joke he made was true, but you got to use it in your life. You know, if you ain't bumped up to cocaine and you still selling weed, it's something wrong. You know, if you still drinking 40s, it's something wrong. Niggas like you ain't drinking 40s no more. COVID, if nothing else. But you have to understand with God comes growth. If you ain't growing, you ain't gonna never get there. You know, I saw a skit, and I'm gonna let y'all have it. I saw a skit one time, not long ago. These cops were chasing this dude, and they chased him into a church. And when he got into the church, you could see people just crying everywhere, and you could see clothes everywhere. Like somebody was sitting here, somebody was sitting here, somebody was standing here, but you could see the other people just walking around, just crying. And the dude, he was like, "Man, what's going on? Why is everybody crying?" And the skid said he came back, but he didn't take us. That was in the church. So you see all the clothes of the people he took. When I said
Wow.
it was powerful. But you know, again, you can't nobody get you right with the man. You know, you look at people and you say, for instance, drug dealers. We know a drug dealer right now. It's been selling drugs for 30 years. ain't never went to jail, ain't nothing ever happened to him. And you ask yourself, man, how is this dude doing wrong? How is this dude doing wrong? And I'm over here struggling. Well, you don't know what he's doing. You know, because he's doing wrong, you know, man, I've seen something else that was powerful by Kurt Franklin. And he talked about the disciples. Every disciple had a problem. It was somebody was a womanizer, somebody was a thief, somebody was an adulterer. Every disciple did. They had problems with sin, all of them, every last one of them. But God used them. He used them, and you know, people will tell you all the time, oh, God will use you. But my experiences, because I done had experiences that where I went from homicide to suicide. And I know that if I didn't have God in my life, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's real. That's
Yeah.
real. Um, Elisa, you got something you want to share with us about God intervening?
I would say he's always a present help, but he intervenes. I think when he's trying to get us to save us from ourselves.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna chime in. Um, I think what Terry just said is a really powerful gesture of going from homicide to suicide. Because I just spoke with somebody earlier today, and it's amazing again the presence of God and how God will use you in the moment. I was telling somebody because we were speaking of someone that we knows that committed suicide, and I was saying how I understand the thoughts of suicide. I just don't understand the reality, or I couldn't fathom the reality of committing suicide. Like I could never see myself actually getting to that point and place in my life. But I do understand. I understand why people take their own lives. I'm not saying they should, but I understand it. I've been in some really, really low, dark places in my life, but I've never ever gotten to a point or stooped to a point of looking at it from the perspective of pulling the trigger or taking some meds or doing something where I could legitimately hurt myself in the moment. But I get it. I promise I really, really do. And that's why I never judge when I hear about these things happening, when I hear about people doing this to themselves, people hurting themselves. Um, man, I really, really get, I really, really understand that sometimes people just can't handle situations of the moment or in the moment. They really can't handle it. And all you can really do is, like our next topic, make the adjustments. Make the adjustments in your life and move forward. And that's where I think, man, when we talk about making adjustments or life changing moments, I think people like, for me, people like Terry, people like Cedric Jenkins, um, man, they don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar. They don't have to be doctor such and such. Brothers who you know you can lean on, who you can confide in. It's like, man, mental illness is real. But let me tell you something else that's also real is that the word of God says iron sharpens iron. So what's also real is that having brothers like Terry and Sid by your side, who you know undoubtedly, unquestionably got your back, like that's real as well. Iron sharpens iron. If you got dudes that ain't just in no amen corner or no yes men, that's gonna say, well, no, bro, you wrong. That's gonna be honest with you and tell you the truth. Not only tell you that you're wrong, but why you're wrong. Like, man, that in itself is powerful. So I know if I ever brought up the subject or talked about, man, I can't do this, I can't take this. Man, I know that these guys would burn rubber from wherever they are, drop everything they got going on to be by my side until my mindset changed about my dumb ass thinking about taking my own life. See, my point about suicide, I think suicide is probably the most selfish act on earth.
Mm-hmm.
What about your wife? What about your kids? What about everybody who love you? Your sisters, your brothers? Look, I lost my daughter in 2018. I lost my nephew in November of last year. I turn around and lose my brother in March. What's that? 3 months later, 4 months later? Then I just buried my mom 2 weekends ago. That's 4 family members in 5 years. 4 family members in 5 years. So who do I pick up the phone and call when I can't call mama no more? Who do I pick up the phone and call when I can't call my big brother no more? People like Terry and Said, man, they are pivotal to my mental survival. Man, when I just want to vent, when I just want to talk. I ain't even got to be talking about what I'm going through, but what I'm going through and conversating with them may take me out of the moment. So what you have to learn to do, and people always come to me and say this, and I don't know why, but they always say to me, man, Kevin, bro, you a picture of strength. You a pillow of strength. I look at you and I'm like, man, that brother's strong. That brother's something else. Like, I don't see myself as that somebody because I see myself crying when I'm alone, when I'm driving to work, when I'm driving home. This morning as I went to work, man, I was praying and thanking God for intervening in my baby's life and giving my baby just last night, letting my baby have that moment. Whether Landon makes another touchdown or not this season, he got a game where he scored 3 touchdowns where everybody was patting him on the back and rubbing him on the head and, hey, man, good job, good job. Everybody was his friend last night. People he probably never met in life or won't know going forward past this year, next year, whatever. He was the man in the moment, which made him feel a part of that school where he don't want to be. And as a father, as a parent, y'all know, come on, man, everybody damn near on here is parents. Y'all know the one thing we'll do is protect our kids at all costs. Whatever that means, whatever that takes. As a parent, you'll step in front of some bullets for your baby. So making the adjustments, man, I make adjustments by speaking to this brother on the screen about what's real, about real life. I don't expect for him to be no fucking yes man. I really don't. I promise I don't. I expect for Terry O'Neal to be Terry O'Neal and tell me if I'm wrong. What's your picture, T?
You know, let me go back. You know, we as humans, as children, you know, our parents, believe it or not, groomed us for the day that they passed. It was already groomed that they did what they were supposed to do as parents. They gave you their knowledge. They gave you what they knew, and then as a child, you grew up and put your stuff with it. But you have the base of your parents. So when that day comes, believe it or not, you're gonna already be ready. You don't even know you're gonna be ready. But it's gonna be a hard pill for me. Um, it was a rude awakening because all 3 of mine in 2 months apart, and it was a rude awakening that, damn, ain't nobody here, but ain't too many people here for me no more. So I had to really understand what God was doing, and He said, "I've given you this, but you ain't using it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these people from your life, and I'm gonna make you use it."
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened. He made me use what he gave me. Um, it's I say this all the time. In death, you can always find comfort in God. But at the same time, you know, when there's a death, it doesn't matter about the support system. I know I'm the first dude that Kevin is by his side and the last person to leave. But at the end of the day, when everything is said and done, yeah, I'm a good support system. But right here, he has to deal with that. Right here, he can't nobody help him with that. He has to be, it has to be God. God has to make him strong, has already made him strong enough to deal with whatever's coming his way. But he don't know he's strong enough. He don't know that he's been groomed already. So when stuff happens to our parents, let me tell you something. And I know this may sound crazy, but mama was easy compared to what you've already been through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not designed for a child to die before the parent. It's not designed like that. So that in itself was a growing process. That was a molding process. That was a shaping process. So when Rodney came, it wasn't hard as what he had already been through. When Mama came, it wasn't as hard as what he's already been through. Don't get me wrong; those blows were still hard, but they wasn't as solid as what he's already been through, because that's not how life is designed. Life is designed is for us to have children. We raise our children and then we die. Every now and then, the tables is flipped, and it happened like that. But it happened like that, and let me tell y'all something. You know, God will take something from you, not to hurt you, but He might be trying to show somebody else something. And a lot of people miss that. You know, if He took something from me or someone from me, He took them from me that hurt, but he might have been trying to show my sister something. My sister might need to wake up and say, okay, I see this now. Everything that happens does not mean it's for you. It could very well be for somebody else, but he's using you as a vessel to show these people, hey, this dude, look what this dude done been through. Look how strong this dude is. You ain't been through half the stuff he been through, and you weak as hell.
Yeah.
So you have to understand what's happening. You have to be able to decipher what's really going on, because again, it may not be for you. It may be for somebody else. And if somebody else ain't paying attention, then it's gonna come back again, and it's gonna be directly to somebody else, and you'll get it then if it don't kill you first. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I thank God every day that He delivered me to where I walked away from motorcycles. I've seen dudes die. I've seen dudes get skin peeled off their ass to the bone, and I still rode. I went down several times, but the Lord allowed me to get back up. So at this point, and I wasn't nothing going on. Did nothing drastic happen to me. So I said, look here, this what I'm gonna do. We're gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna take this desire from you. And He took that motorcycle desire from me.
Yeah.
Guess what? I got all these here I can use. I got all my tools. I still have everything that God let me have. Every day I thank God for that. Every time I see somebody that's worse than me, that's doing worse than me, I thank God that that's not me. When I pull up to every corner, I see somebody with a sign. I thank God that's not me, because it could very well be you. Blink of an eye, your life can change. Literally a blink of an eye. So you don't take nothing for granted. I mean, being able to answer a cell phone, being able to take a shower or bath, you can't take nothing for granted, because there's people out there that can't do nothing. There's people out there that don't know where their next meal coming from. So you cannot take living for granted.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I think the key word for just for your heart, man, and my heart both, I think that word is grateful, because I know for me, man, I'm grateful to God for everything that He's given me, for every opportunity He's given me. I just appreciate the fact that even with where I am right now in life, like God put me in a situation to be married to one woman for 22 years. Unfortunately, we didn't please God with our decision to be divorced because the Bible says that God hates divorce, but we chose divorce. So we made God very unhappy with us in that regard, in that moment. But I'm here now. God has given me a different situation and put me in a new life in a new way and a new man. I was just telling another friend of mine this morning on my way to work that I'm just, I don't want nobody in my life and in my world, T. I don't want nobody around me with any kind of negativity that ain't right, that don't want to live, love, and laugh. And you know, according to the text group we in, brother, that's all we do in that group.
Yeah.
Is we live, we got trips planned together. We going to Jamaica real soon. We love on each other. Every morning we love on each other. Every morning we tell each other how much we love each other. And we laugh. We laugh in that group. Ain't nothing negative about our immediate circle. There's no negativity in our immediate circle. And you know what's the beautiful part about that I was explaining to them? Ain't
Right.
nobody fucking nobody. It ain't because it's men and women that
Right.
we sleeping together. We all friends. They say, well, you and Kim in the group. Me and Kim ain't sleeping together. Me and Kim just cool.
Yeah.
Everybody want to make us a couple, and that's cool, you know, because we have been one. But we love on each other. We have a good time together. We laugh together. We talk crap about each other. We make jokes about each other. And man, we love being around each other. Anytime we together, man, I'm grateful to God. I'm looking forward to the next time, bro. I'm looking forward to the next time. I really am.
Yeah.
So let's move on to that unspeakable presence. And I'll head that one out first as well. When we talk about unspeakable presence, what I'm looking at, when you just spoke on the greatness of God and how he's blessed us to certain levels in our lives, like that unspeakable presence in our life could be that of Jade walking with me, Mama Bessie walking with you, Mr. Jesse walking with you, that unspeakable presence that in the back of your mind tell you, Terry, don't do that. Terry, don't make that decision. Terry, don't say that. Terry, trust Teak in this moment. That unspeakable presence that comes through us and to us from somewhere that we probably would have just made a bad decision had we not had that presence in our heart, rather than go ahead and making that ignorant action or moment. So for me, I always use this example. You know, since I've been doing this show, I've been saying the same thing. I'm not having sex with a woman until I get married. So now the running joke is, even though if I tell Kim, girl, she was like, no, you can't be talking to me because we ain't married. So now that's her thing. Mm-hmm. That's her thing back to me. But the reason why I said that is because once I lost my baby in 2018, in August of 2018, August 12th in 2018, the difference for me, honestly, I think, is how I view and picture women, how I talk to women, how I deal with women. I don't have fight in me to even go back and forth ever with a woman in my life again. If it ain't pleasurable, if it ain't peace, I don't want no part of it, bro.
I understand. So about that unspeakable presence, for me, so of course, you know, my dad was a mechanic. But my dad has always had mechanic shops as long as I could pick up a wrench. That's what I've been doing. So for those that don't know, I'm building an old school car. And it's been times that I could not fix what I was trying to fix. And I could hear my daddy laugh and tell me, boy, you got to get it because your job depends on it. And that's what he would always tell me when I was working for him. You got to get it because your job depends on it. Meaning, if you don't get it, I'm going to fire your ass. So it's been times that I couldn't sleep trying to figure out what's going on with this car. And the next morning, they hit me like a ton of bricks. I get up and go fix the car. You know, it's for me that's how I mourned. Um, Today is my baby girl birthday. My baby girl turned 22 today.
Wow.
And it's I've always mourned how I mourn, and that's I talk about the people that's gone. I talk about my mama. I talk about my dad. And y'all might hear me say, Jesse Crawford did this. That was my daddy. Bessie Mae did this. That was my mama. And that's my way of mourning. And to this day, my mama coming up, my daddy coming up on 22 years, and my mama coming up on 22 years. And I still have my moments, just like anybody else that's listening right now. They still have their moments. And it's something that's just gonna be there. It gets easier by the years, but it's never going away because until you see them again. Now, you know, when you see them, you might need to hope that you're going with them and not going away from them. You know, I'm gonna tell you about and I know this topic, but we talking about unspoken presence. Um, I'm just so tired of people. I won't even say my people, just people. The relative, the brother, the uncle, even the women get killed robbing a liquor store, robbing a jewelry store. And I have to see that rest in heaven on a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If little Johnny was robbing a liquor store, his chances of being in heaven is kind of slim to none. You know, let's just stick with rest in peace. You know, I'm cool with that. You know, but heaven is not. We know little Johnny wasn't godly nowhere. You know, it's and that's our next topic. But you know, it's people out there that don't care about people, and if you don't care about people, you don't care about yourself. You don't when you don't care about another human, you don't care. You don't care where you living or dying. You're a lost person. I don't care who you are. If you can't have compassion, and let me tell you, and I mean just watching TV. I was watching World News today, and I saw people dead in the street in the water they having. And if you don't feel that, there's something wrong with you. You know, even though that's 5,000 miles from me. But when you see, and if there's a passage in Revelations where when God says, when you see people laying dead in the street for 3 days, you know I'm on my way back. And they're not moving these people. These people are dead. This is war. But and you seeing it on TV is just crazy. You know, I remember when you couldn't hear a curse word on TV. Now you hearing it. That's all you hear is curse words. You know, but the unspoken presence. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me how they laid down, they put their children to sleep, they laid down, and they felt a presence come over them. And they told me, they said, man, I started praying, and the more I started praying, the heavier that presence got. And when they let up praying, the presence got up a little bit, but they said they could still feel that weight. So they started praying, and they would not stop praying. And they said that pressure came down on them so much that they couldn't talk, they couldn't move, they couldn't scream. All they could do was move their eyes. And they kept praying, and the pressure came up off of them. At that point, you have to understand that that's an unseen presence that was trying to get you. There are those presences out there as well. If we know that there's a heavenly divine, that you know that there's got to be something else out there, and you have to understand that just like you can go to church, the devil in the church,
Huh.
the devil in the church. That's what he's designed to do on earth. He's designed to um, wreak havoc. Now let me tell y'all something. There's passages in the Bible that God denounced 4 angels, and he locked them away in the sea. Okay, in these 4 chambers. Now the passage in the Bible says when that sea dries up, those 4 angels will be released. Y'all, that sea has dried up. I just saw this the other day. The sea has dried up, and they actually showed the 4 chambers where the angels were. Now, if you believe in God and you believe in the Bible, you know that everything in the Bible has come to pass. Now, there's a lot of things in the Bible that's not biblical, but everybody says, okay, it's biblical, but it's not. But you have to understand that stuff is coming to pass, man. You know, we're returning. We're returning back. And I told somebody the other day, what I hope I live long enough to see black people when the script is flipped, because it's gonna flip. We will be back on top where they found us. You know, they found us. They brought us here. We were kings and queens then. It will turn back over. Take off.
So let me end our show on a lighter note tonight. So our last topic of the night is, if you're married to someone, if you're married to someone and they want to spend 4 to 5 days away from home, we going on a girls' weekend, right in the same damn city you in. Isn't it a certain way that your wife or your male mate, or isn't it a certain way they should have to come to you and not necessarily ask for permission, but get your approval to go do something like that? Because somebody hit me with this weekend. She make more money than her dude. Kim, shut your ass up. She make more money than her dude make. I don't give a damn who make the most money. If I'm married to you, you ain't finna come tell me you finna go do nothing away from home for 4 or 5 days. That's the first problem. You can come, hey baby, I would like to woody woody woo. So T, just in a general statement, a generalization of the truth. What man finna allow his woman in the same city to go spend 4 to 5 days away from home just so she can party for 4 days with her friend?
Well, I don't know about the city thing. If it's out of town, that's fine. But first of all,
Hold on, let me say this.
okay,
Lisa Thurgood started by saying that's disrespectful. But go
yeah,
ahead.
that's very disrespectful. Because every one way is a 2-way. I don't care how you do it. If you think that you're doing it one way, it's always a second way. Me, because of the man I am, I don't give a damn if I make $10 a week. I'm still a man of.
Thank you, bro.
I
Thank
don't.
you.
I don't care if I make $10 a week. I'm still a man in my house. And if you come to me any other way than the man I am, then yeah, you can go on that rendezvous or whatever you're doing. But when you get back, I guarantee you the lot's gonna be changed. And if I gotta burn candles in that bitch, I guarantee the mortgage or the rent is gonna be paid. If I got to light candles all around that home, guess what? Every time she passed by, the yard gonna be cut. She gonna know that I'm still maintaining with that $10 a week. But at the end of the day, it depends on the man. You know, most women that say that type stuff, number one, they don't have a man. Number two, if they have a man, they don't have a real man, because a real man is not gonna tolerate that kind of shit. And if a man is coming to a woman, guess what? She's not a real woman, or she'll condemn the individual, because a real woman ain't gonna tolerate that either. You know, she may say yeah, and it might go for a little bit, because women are a little bit more lenient than men, so it might go a little while, and then at some point she gonna say, you know what? When you leave tonight, I'm gonna leave too, and when you get back, you're gonna be here by yourself. You know, that's how women react. But yeah, not no real man. Real man ain't going for that.
And see, my thing was to Kim, when me and Kim talked about it. So Elisa says money doesn't determine if you respect a man or woman. I agree.
Yeah.
So Ron was saying that's extreme. I don't know which comment he was saying was extreme. Here was my thing about it. First off, for me, I'm not gonna marry a woman or be with a woman that feel like it's cool for her to go away for that amount of time. Now, about you going out and partying, having a good time with your friends, I don't mind you doing that. If you want to go out, because you know, I'm gonna go somewhere with mine. When I say go out, I'm past the club stage of my life. Now I know some women still like to party and drink and yada yada yada. And hey, if that's your shit, if that's what you want to do, then all I say to you as a single woman, because I kept telling Kim, that's single woman shit that this girl is talking about. So if you want to stay single, then stay single. But don't try to put somebody else in the midst of your bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. If you single, stay single. That way you ain't never got to talk to nobody about where you going, what time you coming home, when you coming back. Because as a man, it's just some stuff I'm not going to take. Yeah. It's just some things I'm not going to take, some stuff I'm not going to put up with. Now, the whole script flipped when you talk about, hey, we're going on a girls trip to, I don't care where.
Right.
Wherever y'all decide to go, Cabo, Cancun, that's a totally different monster. If you and your girls want to come together and fly and do a girls trip, I don't have a problem with that. I promise I don't whatsoever. But to be in the same city with me and think you got to seek refuge somewhere else for 4 or 5 days, you got me fucked up. Yeah. I'm just saying that's me.
That's me too.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So then the conversation jumped to joint bank accounts. We started talking about joint bank accounts.
Well,
so all my time personally being married for 22 years, me and my ex had a joint bank account. We had a joint bank account. This just me. I ain't saying nobody else. I personally don't know if I could ever do a joint bank account again, because I've been there, done that. And I feel like now, as a man being single with one income, man, I feel like I got way more money now than I ever had when there was 2 incomes and the ex made good money as well. And I got more now with mortgage and everything else on my own and a truck note like I never had before. So I'm just saying, for me, the joint bank account thing in a marriage is out the window. Everybody do it their way. Everybody has to do what works for them.
Right. So Kim Sanders says she can't get an Airbnb and be gone 3-4 days.
She can't get a husband either.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna marry her. Not with that mindset, not with her thinking that's cool. She know that. We already talked about that. She is trying to rattle my cage on here.
You know, and going back, you know, when a woman, if you got a woman that's that's on some nonsense about making more money than her man. Shit, you knew you was making more money than him when you got into it. You
Yeah.
knew it. You knew what you was gonna have to. You knew you was gonna have to buy the meal sometime. You knew exactly, and I get it. You know, some ladies will enter into that. Um, they'll enter into that contract thinking that, okay, this is a good dude. I'm gonna make this dude. I'm gonna better this man. I'm gonna make this man a man. And first of all, ladies, you can't make a man a man. That's first of all. If a nigga sorry, he's sorry. Period. You can't change. You can't. You know how they say you can't change. Um, you can't turn a whore into a housewife. It's the same thing. You cannot make a sorry ass man worth something. Period. You know, because a sorry ass man is content being sorry. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, ladies, but it was women who made the man sorry.
T, but we talked about that forever
Yeah.
with these women letting these niggas drop them off at work and keeping their
Even
cars
they-
while they up in the building grinding for 8 to 10 hours and the nigga late to pick them back up.
Yeah, and he ain't been job hunting. He been at home. He been in his broke ass home house playing the game.
Been at his homeboy house playing the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And
Elisa said, when there is respect in a relationship, you don't have to lay down rules. That's not true. that's not, that's not true.
wait,
So regardless of respect in a relationship, there still has to be rules and boundaries on the expectations of the situation. So you don't talk about, hey, babe, look, I don't mind you going out, but if you're gonna go out, I think you need to be home by whatever that number is for you. I think any woman who has a husband that goes out, it's understood. Or hey, if she ain't there and she call, hey, maybe y'all meet up together and go get breakfast somewhere. But I think there definitely has to be boundaries and rules set. I don't think you just marry someone regardless of respect and not have a set of standards that you expect from a person, from an individual, male or female.
yeah. I mean, that's again. Most of the time, these ladies think they see something in a man, or the facade. They see the facade and say, "Oh yeah, this is what it is." But at the end of the day, you done said I do, and he done said I don't, because he ain't doing nothing. You know, he's always been him. You just looked over there because he had some good ding ding or
Yeah.
whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you didn't change him. You only made him.
Yeah. So Elisa said boundaries, yes, rules, no, but boundaries and rules are the same thing. You're talking potato, tomato, potato, potato,
Yeah.
tomato, tomato. A boundary and a rule in the context in which we're talking are the exact same thing. You just want to change the word so it sounds better. A
And it,
boundary, when you set a boundary, there's a set of rules. The boundary is the rules.
right,
We don't do this in my house. That is a rule.
right.
Terry, you and T, that might be, hey T, I don't mind you going out, but Terry, do not hit this door at 4 o'clock. Do not hit this door at 5 in the morning. That's
Yeah.
a rule.
Rule.
That's a rule. That can also be considered a boundary. Like, don't break this boundary, but that's also a rule. Say, man, don't come in the house this time of night. There's gonna be a problem. Either way, male or female, that's a rule. I mean, so we're not gonna split hairs. Boundaries are rules.
Yep.
Well, she said they are quite different. No, they're not quite different. If you were on the show and your internet was working, then you could look them up and tell us what's the difference. She said rules are made to be broke. So I'm not finna even indulge that. So let's go back. Ron Love said he take his wife to the strip club with him. Hey, if that's the agreement,
That's what it is.
that's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with that, because hell, I used to take Nika with me when I went sometime.
I just ain't built like that. I'm talking about strip clubs at all. I'm just not built like that.
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, not now as since I've gotten older, I don't go no more. But I mean, when we were younger in our marriage, we would go and enjoy ourselves and have fun.
Yeah.
29 years and counting. That's why you can get away with that. Felicia Love says, good ding ding only goes so far. Felicia, how you know? Tell us how you know it only goes so far, Felicia. Terry waiting to hear.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think you would marry your spouse based on sex.
Okay.
All right.
Let me
Felicia.
I'm sick of hearing that there. Let me tell y'all something. There is not a woman alive that has married a man that didn't have good ding ding. Sorry. Let me tell you why. That's just like they say the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If they ugly and you know they ugly, you're not gonna wake up to that every day. You're gonna keep it put. So don't act like ding ding is not a factor because it is. And let me go ahead and put this out there. Women, we know that y'all got these roses and y'all got these plastic and rubber things. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, y'all look me in my eyes when I tell you this. Ain't nothing in the world like a strong back. Yeah. So you can play them games with yourself all you want to. That rose ain't doing nothing. Because if you ain't got a strong back, because I bet you can't lay there and hug that rose and get warm. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got 30 pillows in the bed. Ain't nobody over there. That's so you won't fall out the bed. That's what that is.
Yeah. She said, Erica Chapman says, what's considered good rabbit? Rabbit is a toy that they use to play with themselves with, Erica. We can't see your eyes. Oh, you saw what she said? We can't see your eyes. When you said, look me in my eyes, she said, we can't see your eyes.
I'm high.
Kim Sanders says, don't say ugly, say funny looking. Andrea King say, I guess she's saying she messed with somebody with good ding ding. She just didn't know any better. That's your people, bro.
Hey.
Jessica said, like my daddy said, nothing open after 2 a.m. but legs, thighs, and motels. Marriage is different. There has to be respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So look, man, that's our hour for tonight. Thank y'all for joining us. We gon' look. Let me tell y'all something. So I'm gonna have some people on here next week along with Terry that ain't never been on the show before. It's gonna be everybody on the show from a relationship standpoint where we can get a little run. We're gonna talk marriage, we're gonna talk sex, we're gonna talk don't do, can do, and all that shit next week. But I think I'm gonna have Chico on the show with you next week.
Let me say this here before we go. Look, y'all, I'm finna light a fire up under Kevin. For the last 3-4 months, he been saying it. He's gonna put some shit together for the people that's been rocking with him.
I have.
So I'm gonna light a fire up on him, and we're gonna make that happen. Cause if I don't say nothing, he gonna just keep promising. And I know you women love empty promises.
Hey, that's why I keep giving it to him, bro. They keep tuning in here.
They ain't gonna, yeah, but that's at some point they gonna quit rocking with you because you feel like I got
women like to be lied to. All of them like to be lied to.
Say, ladies, I didn't say that. Yeah.
You know they can't handle the truth, so you just lie to them and give them what they're looking for.
Yeah.
No, but we are gonna. I promise. We're gonna do something special very, very soon. I'm gonna get with my girl Anissa that was on here, and we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something.
It's gonna be winter time, y'all. Remember I told y'all.
Jessica Gordon said, "I hate live." Jessica, come on now. You my girl. You can't be going against the grain. You got to say, yeah, we do like being, just for the sake of the show, Jessica. Be down with your boy just for the sake of the show. Come on now. Ride with me. Hey, for what he said with Kevin Walker, that's my man Terry O'Neill. We'll see y'all real soon at a party near you. Peace out. Thank y'all for watching.
We'll holler.
Good.